it's hard to really evaluate this unit right now because they've had so many rotating guys in at left tackle. Dan Skipper, when he was playing, was getting work by Aiden Hutchinson. That happens a lot. Aiden Hutchinson's a great player. Giovanni Manu's going through some of that himself, and he's a lot, not as far along as even Dan Skipper, who's been in this league for a while. So he's still learning on the fly, and he actually had a tough day at practice today, and Justin and I and a few others kind of saw Taylor out there giving him some tips, and I talked to Taylor after practice, and he goes, I had those moments when I was a rookie, and I struggled on the field, and when I was going through it, there are so many guys that would come up to me during practice and say, hey, maybe you should do this instead, or hey, look out for this. And it irritated him to have those conversations during practice. So he waited until after practice, sought out Gio, and was like, hey, man, how you feeling? I just want to see where you're at. After a tough day of practice. And ideally, Gio was taking over for Taylor down the road. That's sort of the blueprint for them. But it's good to see a guy like Taylor Decker, kind of mentoring these young guys. And, he's going to be back here soon. He said he expects to be back out there next week. But, until then, you can't really get a full evaluation of this offensive line, of this unit, because Hudge is out there wrecking things. Like it's a good thing that he's looking like his old self and he's wrecking every other play. Yeah. But I agree with Campbell. It's like, come on, man, can you give us like a couple of reps here to see what we have? So it's a tough balance, but you like both sides of it, I think.
I almost put Hutch as a surprise. I mean, I'm sitting here going, what? Does this guy have a cyborg leg? I mean, what are we doing here? He looks elite.
I'll say in favor of the offensive line, while they lost a pillar and maybe even two in Ragnow and Zeitler, I think by the end of this year, they will have gained one in Christian Mahogany. And
no doubt.
Not just saying that because he's a fellow Boston College Eagle, although BC does have a bit of a reputation for churning out some interior offensive linemen. I'm saying that mostly because he plays with the kind of ferocity and nastiness that Hank Fraley requires, that Dan Campbell requires, that this offense at large demands. And he's the kind of guy who will win a block and then go look for someone else to block. Like he's talking today about how much he loves run blocking and how, his dad, when he was growing up, was a Cowboys fan. And so Larry Allen, the Hall of Fame guard, was one of his favorite players and one of the players that Christian watched the most growing up. And he said he's always just tried to play with the same nastiness as a guy like Larry Allen. And I said, it's hard when you're looking as a young offensive lineman for players to emulate. You can't just turn on an all 22. You can't find offensive line highlights. So he would go to Madden and just find the highest rated offensive linemen and then try and play like they played, but most of all, try and approach the game the way they approached it. And, we do see him, especially as a run blocker, beginning to pave some lanes for Gibbs and Demo. And I think we look up at the end of the year and you feel really good about where they stand at left guard with Mahogany.
It's weird seeing number 73 out there. You think of
why he wears
Jackson, right?
Yeah, he wears 73 for Larry Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.